So the Blue Jays are accusing the Brewers of cheating. The Dodgers are accusing the Rockies of cheating. The Giants are accusing the Reds of being a bunch of bitches. They're in a fight. Mike Trout is the best player in baseball. Again, it's raining inside. It's snowing in Colorado. There's a tornado at PNC Park. People are running on the field. People are getting hit in the face. Managers are getting hit in the face. Players are losing their shit. According to some, the Mets are the worst team in baseball and their manager is about to get fired. That's according to some. The Mets have the worst record in baseball. What makes it even worse if you're the Mets is they have the third highest payroll of all time. Since July 27, 2025, they have the second worst record in baseball. They get swept by the Dodgers. Mets scored 3 runs that entire series. They hit 132, a 158 on-base percentage with a 209 slugging. Bo Bichette, 2 for 11 in that series. Francisco Lindor, 2 for 12. They've scored 1 or less runs off 9 of the last 10 starting pitchers they faced. 16 runs in 9 games. It was looking like it couldn't get any worse.
It gets even worse.
It got worse. Kodai Senga gives up 6 runs in 3 1/3 innings. In game 2, they lose 4-2. Going into the Sunday game, they tried to get their energy up in the clubhouse, started blaring music really loud. Didn't really work. Bring in Devin Williams, their big-time closer. Up a lead-up single, then a double. Cubs tie it in the 9th, then win on a walk-off sac fly in the 10th. They've scored just 19 runs in 11 games, and 10 of those runs came in 2 games. And that is an 11-game losing streak for the Mets. That is their biggest losing streak since 2002. Playoff odds have gone from 88.6% to 41.8%. Currently, they are last in the NL East, right above the Phillies. Worst run differential in baseball right now. They are 8-12. The Marlins and Nats are better than both of them. Second best offense in baseball for the Nats. Only team to not lose a series yet. The Braves are in first place in the NL East. For now, we're going to keep it in the Central. The Blue Jays accused the Brewers of cheating, bro. It started raining inside at one point. You'd think that would be bad for the Brewers because their stadium has a hole in it. It actually wins the Brewers a game. So there's a massive storm and flooding in Milwaukee. They play in a dome, but there's some holes in the roof. So there's like a puddle on the warning track. There's areas in the stands that are getting flooded out. There becomes a small puddle around home plate because the water is leaking from the roof. So in the bottom of the 8th, the Brewers are down 1 run. A runner steals. Sal Frelick bounces one right on home plate. Catcher throws him off. He can't pick it up, and Sal Frelick is safe because of this little puddle in home plate. He gets to first base because of the puddle. He ends up scoring. That's the go-ahead run, and the Brewers win because there's a hole in the frickin' roof. Next game, the Blue Jays, fed up, they accused the Brewers of cheating. So Trevor McGill was rubbing the ball in his pants while pitching. The Blue Jays bench starts yelling at him. He starts talking back. The umpire switches out the ball. He then immediately rubs the ball in his pants again. He has to get a new ball again. Ends up striking out Dennis Schneider, and then immediately strikes out Dalton Varsho and has some words to say to the Blue Jays. Screams, you. Vladdy Jr. has a problem with it. He starts telling him to get off the field. McGill screams him down and tells him to keep talking, motherfucker. Talk to the hand, you bitch. The 5-game losing streak is broken by the Brew Crew. They got in a fight with the Red Sox, which caused a 5-game losing streak. Then they got in a fight with the Blue Jays, which ended the 5-game losing streak. So it's looking better. They won 2 out of 3 against the Blue Jays, and then they beat the Marlins 2 out of 3. 2.03 ERA, 6 consecutive quality starts for the Brewers. Brandon Woodruff, 7 innings, 1 run allowed against the Marlins. Chad Patrick, 6 2/3, 1 run allowed against the Blue Jays. Brandon Sprout, is he sprouting up? 6 2/3, 1 run allowed against the Blue Jays. And Jacob Mizorowski, 5 innings, 1 run allowed against the Marlins. So the Brewers are 12-9. If they were in the AL West, they would be in first place, but now they are in last. In the NL Central, all 5 teams have winning records. The Reds, who just swept the Twins, are in first. The Cardinals, who have the longest winning streak in baseball, are in third. So the Pirates, who have the projected to win the division, are in second place. The Cubs, who have the best run differential in the division, are in fourth. But all 5 of these teams are separated by a half game. The Reds are currently in first, and they also got into a fight against the Giants. Giants have had a terrible season. They've had a bunch of controversies, but this fight might turn their season around, hopefully. Brubaker comes into the 7th. The batter calls time, Spencer Steer, right before he pitches. He believes time was called too late. He starts complaining. Spencer Steer responds by telling him to, quote, throw the fucking ball. They get mad at each other. Then Spencer Steer immediately rips up single off him, yells at him, and runs to first base. So the Giants lose this game. That's their 4th loss in a row. 3rd time already this season they have lost 3 or more games in a row. This game puts them in last place, gives them the worst record in baseball. Very next day, Spencer Steer comes to the plate. First pitch he sees, right in his ribcage. Was it on purpose? They asked Landon Roop, the pitcher, if it was on purpose. He responds by saying,
what happened on that fastball? Slip.
Can't even keep a straight face, Mitchell. My bad. Slipped. 2 innings later, Willie Adames comes up. Connor Phillips throws at Willy Adames, misses Willy Adames, then hits Willy Adames with the next pitch. Obviously, he's trying to hit Willy Adames. Pitcher is ejected. Then to finish the game, Eric Miller strikes out Sal Stewart and does a primal scream, tells the Reds to sit the fuck down, says fuck you to 3 guys in a row. He says fuck you, and fuck you. He's pissed. He's fired up. The Giants win this game, and they win their next 2 games against the Nats. So that's a 3-game win streak for the Giants because of this fight. We've seen this all year. Every time there's a fight, one of those teams goes on a run. In the Brewers' case, they went on a losing streak right afterwards. Then they've gotten to another fight. Now they're on a winning streak. Tony Vitello, he's been fighting his demons all season. Earlier this week, he got cursed out by an umpire mid-game. He's fighting Drew Gilbert in the dugout. Then they win the game against the Nats. He starts pushing Logan Webb around. They do lose the 3rd game. They get shut out by Miles Michaelis, but playing a little better. Not playing as good as the Padres, though. The Padres might be the most electric team in baseball at the moment. I asked Luis Campusano what was the difference with him and the Padres this year. This is what he says.
I'm just not giving a fuck, really. Just not giving a fuck. Just whatever happens, happens.
Last 2 seasons, he combined for a negative 1.1 WAR, had a .211 average and a .612 OPS, but since not giving a fuck, he's batting .300 with a .533 slugging and a .897 OPS this year. The Padres have won 13 of their last 15 games, have the best record in baseball during that stretch, have the 2nd best offense and the best pitching staff during that stretch, and they can't stop hitting walk-offs. So last week, Xander Bogaerts hit a walk-off grand slam. And the next day, Gavin Sheets hits a walk-off 3-run home run.
Sheets to deep right center field. It's back. A 3-run home run to walk it up. Holy Sheets.
Then on Thursday, they go into the 9th down 4 runs, 3 straight hits, including a walk-off double by Jackson Merrill.
Down the left field line to the corner. Around from second base, Campusano. Laureano's coming around. Padres are walking up. Merrill madness. Padres were down at one time 6 runs. Not anymore.
Merrill madness, everybody.
Fires me up.
Jake Cronenworth takes 97 miles per hour to the face, wears it, and stays in the game. Mason Miller continues to embarrass people. Coming into the week, he had struck out 17 of the last 18 batters he's faced. This week, 3 more scoreless innings, gives up just 1 hit this week. In 10 appearances so far this season, he's given up 2 hits. He has pitched 32 2/3 scoreless innings in a row. They sweep the Mariners and beat the Angels 2 out of 3. Only a half game back of the Dodgers right now. The Dodgers, who lost 2 out of 3 against the Rockies and accused the Rockies of cheating, they swept the Mets and held the Mets to 3 runs. Their starters in that series was Jason Robleski, 8 innings, 2 hits allowed, no runs allowed. It's the best start of his career. Yamamoto goes 7 2/3, 4 hits allowed, 1 earned run, 7 Ks. And then Ohtani, another great start for Ohtani. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 2 hits, and 10 Ks for Ohtani. Dodgers starters combined for 21 2/3 innings, 2 runs allowed, a .83 ERA over those 3 games. But they go to Colorado. Game 1, it's fucking snowing in Colorado. So it snows 3 inches before the game. The Rockies have to use a plow to remove the snow. They shovel the field. It's 34 degrees at first pitch. Got down to 27 degrees that night. The Dodgers ended up scoring 5 runs on Tomoyuki Saganu. But in game 2, Will Klein enters the game in the 6th for the Dodgers. They have a 1-run lead. First batter hits a double on the first sweeper he sees. Second batter smacks a hit off Klein's leg off the first off pitch he sees. Third batter smacks a slider in the gap, and the Rockies take the lead and win the game off those. So after the game, Dalton Rushing, the catcher for the Dodgers, says that something, quote, was fishy. Says, I think it's odd that some of those hitters that do what they do, they go up there and they're on the first pitch that was thrown. It's a little fishy, but I'll wear it. Then Dave Roberts comes out and kind of calls his own player an idiot. He says, quote, I saw some bad breaking balls. So I don't think there was anything fishy behind it. The next day, the Rockies win again, and they start mocking Rushing by every time they get a hit, they're doing a fishing celebration. But moving on to another LA team, the Los Angeles Angels. They got a guy named Mike Trout. And Mike Trout, he might be the best player in baseball again. He made this one swing change. He goes to Yankee Stadium, tries it out, goes off. So on Monday, he hits a 3-run home run off Jake Bird. Then comes up in the 8th, hits a 2-run homer off Camilo Duval. This is his 31st career multi-home run game. Next day, hits another home run in the first inning. So that's his 3rd home run in 2 games. Then the next day, homers again. That's 3 home runs in 3 games. Then in the 4th game in a row in Yankee Stadium, he hits another home run. It is the first road player to hit 4 straight home runs against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Mike Trout says, I was doing it in BP, never took it into a game until the last month of the season. Last year, he starts doing the step back, did it the whole offseason, then came into the spring, stopped doing the step back. He went on a 2 for 33 stretch, started doing the step back again. Ever since then, his OPS has gone from 777 to 1,010 in just 4 games. It keeps him from spinning and getting underneath the baseball. So the step back is in, bro. So the Angels, they split a series in New York, even though Mike Trout hits 5 home runs in 4 games. Jordan Romano blows 2 games. Angels are in 3rd place, right behind the Athletics and Rangers, who are in 1st, tied for 1st, 11-11, 500 teams. Mariners below the Angels, and then the Houston Astros. Oof. They've lost 12 of their last 14 games, man. For now, let's talk about the Red Sox, who are also not looking good. Jarren Duran flicks off a fan in the crowd. This is what, the 5th time he's come after a fan? The Red Sox are in last place. They lost 2 series this week, 1 to the Twins. So Garrett Crochet gave up 11 runs to the Twins. He had a 3.12 ERA coming into the game. After the game, 7.58 ERA. His velocity was down a full mile per hour across the board. Allowed 5 more runs to the Tigers on Sunday. So he now has a 7.88 ERA and a -0.8 WAR. And that is a guy who led the league in strikeouts and was 2nd in Cy Young voting last year. They lost the series to the Twins, allowed 24 runs to the Twins in this series. Before the series, they were 13th in ERA. After the series, they were 24th in ERA. Brian Bayo gave up 4 runs in 4 innings against the Tigers. Sonny Gray gives up 5 runs in 4 innings against the Twins.
He's injured.
But the biggest controversy right now for them is Jarren Duran, who flips off a fan. So in 2024, a fan told him he needed to use a tennis racket. He yelled back, "Shut up, you fucking..." He was suspended for that and fined. Against the Guardians last April, he was taunted by a fan for his mental health issues. Duran yelled at the fan from the dugout. The fan was removed by security. In August, he struck out and yelled, "Fuck you, pussy," at a fan. And then this year against the Twins, he flips off a fan because I think the fan told him to kill himself. And Jarren Duran has a history of mental health. He attempted suicide at one point, so it's very sad. So you do feel bad for him. I get why, you'd be sensitive about that, but also at the same time, you can't be calling the fans pussies like twice a year. Led the league in doubles and triples and at 834 OPS, was an all-star, 8th in MVP voting in 2024. Since then, just a 111 OPS plus. This year, Jarren Duran, 51 OPS plus. They scored 4 runs in 3 games against the Tigers. Some people are calling them the Red Sox. 8-13, tied with the Blue Jays in last place. They're not the only ones who had a tough week. Orioles manager Craig Albernaz had a very tough week. First-year manager for the Orioles. He goes viral for slapping his player on the butt last week. Now everyone's calling him Craig Alberass. A couple days later, he gets hit by his own player with a foul ball, nails him in the face, gets a broken jaw, fractures at least 7 bones in his face. Jeremy Jackson is the guy who hit it. So he hits his own manager in the face with a foul ball, then hits a home run in his next at bat. Then in the 8th inning, hits another home run. So the Orioles actually come back from a 7-1 deficit after their manager gets in the face by a foul ball. Albernaz avoids surgery and says he can only eat baby food for 6 weeks. Team goes to Cleveland. When he gets there, his whole office is a bunch of baby chairs and baby furniture. The freaking Guardians played a prank on him, his former team. They made his whole office kid stuff to put Spider-Man and Bluey stuff on the wall, and he had a little baby desk for the whole week. They lose 2 out of 3 to the Guardians, then lose 2 out of 3 to the Diamondbacks, so they go 2-6 this week. They've lost 4 of their last 5 for the Orioles. Shane Baz, 4.91 ERA, Kyle Bradish, 5.49 ERA, Chris Bassett, 5.49 ERA, and Dean Kramer, 4.09 ERA. So you've heard it before, guys. The Orioles, their weak point is the starting pitching. Right now, they're in 3rd place, 10-12, right behind Jack's Rays, 12-9. Yankees are in 1st, and the Blue Jays and the Red Sox in the cellar. The Yankees, man. Yankees had lost 6 out of 7 going into this week. They were a 3-way tie for 1st with the Orioles and Rays going into this week. Not anymore. They split a series with the Angels. They sweep the Royals 5-2, and they're back in 1st place. And Aaron Judge, he's got 9 home runs, leads the league. 6 home runs in 8 games. 273 average with a 909 slugging and a 1,269 week. Royals, though. Sell the team. Royals, 7 losses in a row. Lost 10 of their last 12. They're tied with the Mets for the worst record in baseball. This week, they've scored 17 runs. 9 of those runs came in 1 game. So the worst offense in baseball by runs this whole year, And this week they had the worst ERA in baseball, 6.66 ERA. Oh my gosh, you got to go to church. Nick Mears comes in, blows the game on Monday versus the Tigers. Eli Morgan blew a game the next day. Bullpen gives up 5 runs on Thursday. Lucas Ursig comes in and gives up 3 runs, blows a save. 6.12 ERA on the season. The bullpen blows 3 leads in a 3-game sweep. On Friday, Alex Lane comes in, a tie game, gives up 2 runs. They lose that game. Mitch Spence gives up 6 runs out of the bullpen on Saturday. Then on Sunday, their bullpen is perfect, but Cole Reagans gives up 7 earned runs, and that will be a 7-game losing streak for the Royals, who got swept in back-to-back series. Last place for the Royals, right behind the White Sox. Not a good place to be. They're behind the Twins, who are 500, staying alive, and the Tigers and the Guardians got a little bit of separation up there, first and second place in the AL Central. And that is all for this week's episode, guys. If we missed your favorite team or you want to hear us go more in depth on your favorite team, click this link to hear the full-length podcast. We have timestamps for all 30 teams. We cover all 30 every single week. So thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe. See you next time.